you hire matters a lot. Yes, hear me. See, hiring is beyond just, setting up your job descriptions, putting up applications so that people can apply. See, anybody can apply for any job and get any job. It's all about the most attractive CV. You have to understand that. See, I've had instances where, as a business, in fact, not just personally, I've had to hire consultants, and I realized that at some point we just had very high staff turnover. And I was wondering, okay, what's going on? What exactly is going on? So I just looked within to say, okay, what are the things we're not doing right? And I remember that there were times when we just say that, oh, we need someone to fill in a role. And then the next thing, I'm seeing the person in my factory, I'm seeing the person in my son, I'm wondering, when did you resume? And they're like, oh, this is your first. And I'm wondering, okay, something must be wrong. But, so I realized that those things, we realized that we started hiring the right people for the wrong role. And we started hiring the wrong people for the particular role, and we had to look within to say, okay. And as visionary leader, I had to sit down to say, okay, what is wrong? What exactly is going on? And so that's why I thought to share with you from my experience, the kind of things that I did to make sure that I am hiring right. And what I have done is to look at the hiring process and now set, some guidelines as to how we actually bring people in. One of the first things that we do is, of course, you put out the job application. My HR, does the first phase of interview virtually, to select the candidates. But you see that second interview, I make sure it is physical, and that's because of the nature of my business. There are some businesses that don't actually need, physical presence or physical. I mean, some of businesses are hybrid, but for my own business, you have to come for the physical interview, especially when it's for core roles like accounting, for HR, and all of that. I'm going to give more examples. So for that second stage, you must come in physically and meet with me. So aside my evaluation form where I already have like list of questions, and if it's departmental as well, I have department specific questions that I ask. All of these questions is not to know where you live and all. It's just to understand your thought process and also to see if you fit into the personnel we have designed for that role, right? And so once that is done, I move on to the most important part, which is the case study. Now, hear me, if you've not been doing this before, you have to start that. And this is not about using going online and just searching for case studies for accountant, case studies for HR and all of that. Let me give you an example. For the HR role, there was a particular instance that we had. There was a particular issue that I've never seen before in my life that happened to us. And I just had to think of, okay, what's the best way to handle this? I put all of that into a case study. I just, put in, names and, and all of that. I put into a case study just to see how the HR candidates we are going to be hiring will think about the process and just, because the case study is just to see skill in action. Let me just put it that way. And from that case study, I'm looking out for like three things: your proficiency in Excel, in reporting, in Word documents, how you send email. To cut the long, in fact, there was a time when they hired an HR for me. This HR could not send email. I'm like, what exactly is going on? And he has over 20 years experience, and he can't send emails. Like, all those archaic, book. He can't even use Excel. He can't, like, the database, it was finding difficult. We just had to let him go during his probationary period. So this is to tell you that, see, sometimes you have to hire for, not just for, you have to test their skill, right? So when we did that, so aside that, so when I give you the case study, you're going to report it. Now, it depends on your department. Let me give you another one that we did. So for the HR, I gave her, the case study. I give them case studies and all of that. Send an email, send a query to the staff in question. I want to see everything. We give you the laptop. You do that in-house. It's a full day interview, so we'll let you know ahead of time. Now, if you're doing inventory, I remember when I had when we put out job application for the inventory officer. This is just a data entry person. And I know that this person will be using software. Part of this case study was around, okay, this is the PRIC forms that we are using to take this order for sales order and all of that. Now use it. Let's see you play it out. Let's see you sell these things out on ERP. We just told him, just process. That's one thing about automating your processes as a business owner. Just process, just follow it through. I would know from there if I can work with you or not, if you understand or not. There were people who passed, there were people who failed. And I could pick my candidates like that. So like that for different departments. Another one for accounts. I'm just giving you instances so that you can fit it into your business. For accounts, I give you financial statements. Now, it could be your financial statement, an old one. You can change some words, just use your Excel and, change some things here and there. I give you financial account statement to prepare a financial report for me. I want to see how you can even develop a tracker. I want to let you, okay, look at this financial statement. Tell me how the business is doing. Tell me how much you spent on power. Tell me how much you spent on diesel. If you can't do these things, then why am I hiring you as an accountant in my business? So when you when you start using case studies like this, it helps you. See, I've consulted for, like last year, I consulted for two top businesses, two top industry leaders. I'm telling you, regarding their business, and this thing was a game changer for them when it comes to hiring. So if you are coming in, I know that for you to even be in our business, you cannot be in Yetro's lane. If you're not skilled, if you don't have what it takes, you cannot last here for 3 months. Go and ask. This place is a working machine. It's a fast-paced environment, because we try to like document everything. We try to like use technology for all of our things. So case study is very, very important. And I hope that from now on, you are going to take this into action, regardless of who. See, and I always say, it's not as if I can't work with consultant. I've already set the pace right now, considering the challenges we had, and all of that. If I'm even bringing an HR consultant, because it's not as if it's sustainable for me to keep doing interviews, but if I'm bringing in an HR consultant or someone to help me handle recruitment, these are processes. It's not better. If it's not better than what we are doing, please hold on to you. We don't need you. But if you're going to give us something better, of course, you can handle it. So you have to set the pace for your business. Nobody knows your business more than you. You are the visionary leader for your business, and you have to take action. You have to take drastic, in fact, strategic actions into making sure everything works. So it's your girl Yetunde Akonde, the fashion entrepreneur. See you in the next video. Mwah.